So I was reading this book called Shattered Souls, and it inspired me to write this piece, which is very personal. And the book was about basically people having childhood trauma that they didn't deal with, and so it affected their adult lives. And eventually, they all, kind of healed from it, but it wreaked a lot of havoc in their lives. So I think that's an important message for people to know that they should deal with things instead of just ignoring them because it will affect you whether you think it does or not. Also, think about the fact that you don't know people's backstories or what they go through in life before you decide that you want to judge them and make their life more difficult than it already may be. Okay, so since I didn't name it, we're just gonna call it Unshattered. Made on accident by two addicts with a bad habit, a baby girl is brought into a world so tragic. Born a victim, a crack in the system, attacking her with symptoms. Her birthday more like a curse, you see. She was more off key than the others in the nursery. Years later, things get no greater, abandoned by the same one to creator. Papa was no Rolling Stone, but he was smoking on the broken stones that led to broken homes. Parents out getting their fix and they're oblivious till it becomes obvious that something is amiss. Maybe it was when daddy's friend burnt her with a cigarette, all too strung out to see the burning flesh, or when daddy's new girl hits his sister, or when he left her with the sitter who considered this little lone baby to be a grown lady and taught her grown-up games and caused a grown-up pain and brought a grown-up shame. Then mama disappears without a word. The girl's too young to understand what occurred. She sees her daddy in a drugged or drunken state. Then she's taken by the state cause daddy's flipping furniture and breaking picture frames. She's thinking she's to blame cause he's bleeding and crying out her name. That's when she knew her life would never be the same. Foster home wasn't bad, so they packed up everything they had. She thinks she's at fault they're leaving. Now she's lost and grieving and pleading after seeing daddy on a stretcher and wondering why mama left her. Nothing is left for her. Second foster home is useless and she's clueless as to why these paid parents hate her and degrade her and emotionally violate her. Her new father likes to pay her to play her and to say to her she's ugly and worthless, never worthy of pretty things like purses. So she sat through court dates to convince the state to give her daddy back to stay, and boy did they, but mama stayed MIA. Fast forward, she still feels she has nothing to go towards. Bright child winning scholarly awards. Still broken up, still choking up, still won't open up. Mama wanna amend with her, but she don't remember her. She was an infant the last time she been with her. Too much on her plate, what the fuck is her fate? The fateful day she's tossed away like some leftover spaghetti, and her absence is celebrated like confetti. Doctor said she lost her mind and locked her up so she can find it. She's reminded that she will never be fine at 18 years old and institutionalized. In halfway homes, living with folks whose mind is halfway gone. So-called friends and fam left her all alone. No one ever hugged her the way she needed. No one ever loved her and made her see it. She's been knocked down every day since birth. She's worn a constant frown since she came to this earth. Though she doesn't understand the hand she was dealt, she chose to take a stand, and she still finds it in herself to walk a little higher and to use her pain to inspire. She learned to find and love herself. She learned to put her mind above herself, escaping that mental prison, and her spirit has risen. And she's becoming pretty free. You see, I know the little girl is me.